Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Happy Children's Day to you all for those of you who are celebrating that specific holiday. It is the end of the week. We are wrapping up an actually rather busy week of music to start off the month of May. And we are finally getting the release that many of us have been waiting for. The KRystal Eyes MV for their debut title track Cherry Talk is now finally out. It was originally supposed to drop yesterday along with the album, which we listened to already. The album was very much enjoyable. There's an album listed for that out already on the channel. But the MV got delayed for some internal reason yesterday. And well, I found out through some of you in the comments that the entire kind of like KRystal Eyes project has been delayed. Because this was supposed to drop out around Acid Angels of Asia, which makes sense considering the four members of KRystal Eyes apparently are the four members that appear at the end of the Generations MV, which did not know that at the time, but was very cool. I like how those are connected. Unfortunately, timing wise, they got a little bit disconnected. Of course, we had that 10-member debut in the middle, and now KRystal Eyes are here. So, as this is the debut, even though this is very much out of order, we are going to start off with the member profiles over on Kprofiles. Oh, essentially, the aesthetic EP at KRystal Eyes drop was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of me like going over the edge was trying to learn tripleS. So I'm gonna try and pay attention to this as much as possible. If you want to skip ahead to the MV timeline below, it's gonna be chapter based off of what we're watching. So if you're in for the long haul with me, welcome. Bear with me while I kind of try and get a rough idea of who's who. I have not followed tripleS at all, so all of these members, even though I might know of their names in like passing, I will not know any of them. In fact, like the only two members that I know right now that are part of tripleS aren't even part of units. Because I know Kotone and I know Pak Soyeon. That's it. The others I just know by name because they keep getting mentioned, like Nien and people like that. So here we go. KRystal Eyes, second subunit of tripleS. Yoon, Soyeon, another Soyeon. There are so many Soyeons in the industry now. Okay. Okay, 603. S1. Oh, okay. A first member. Very cool. I'm most obsessed with bread. Me too. Me too. It's carbs, man. Carbs are a good time. Um, Dodger Blue. Favorite movie is The Greatest Showman. It's actually quite a good show. Or, I guess, film, but very good music from it. I don't know. I don't know the actresses from those. Okay. Next up, Kim Cheon. Another Cheon. How many Cheons is that in the industry now? Oh man, okay. December 04. She's as tall as me. S4, okay. So we're getting some early S numbers. Afraid of the Dark. Favorite season's The Winter. Actress since 2008. Very. Buster's Raider and QDL. Next up, Yi Ji Woo. October 2405, fellow Scorpio baby. S3, okay. Left-handed. This will show My Teenage Girl, so that's Lapillus, right? The Lapillus show. Da Gong Yu Bin. Solyun's tripleS bias, according to video from one of the fan signs they did. And then finally, Kim Soo Min Magne, October 07. Oh, you are almost 10 years younger than me. Oh my goodness. S6. Currently studying English. Are you Blackpink? Wasn't Soyeon from Jungkook Daegu? No, it's Jungkook, but it's in Daejeon. Okay. Or Daejeon. Oh my goodness. Along with Soyeon Chanson's Baskin Robbins, Sati 1. They have a flavor called My Mom is an Alien. I can't remember ever going to a Baskin Robbins, so I don't actually know what Baskin Robbins flavors are like, but that's okay. So S6, S3, S4, and S1. So 2, 5, 7, and 8 were in AAA? I don't actually remember who the numbered members were in AAA. I should go back and relearn Acid Angels from Asia again. Now that I'm trying to learn tripleS slowly but surely. I chose a bad time because there's what, 14 members right now? Oof. Anyways, that's the members. We've got the MV. From the EP that we checked out, I'm gonna guess it's a little bit more like, in terms of like a color palette, more like whites and pastels and kind of like lighter, brighter colors. I'm thinking kind of more along that like useful, almost fanciful color palette for the MV as well. That's just a guess based off of, like the concept pictures and the music they've produced. So here we go.
Get it, come sweet me. Don't you make me restless? 빠지는 two fingers, 자꾸 swiping up. 곤란한 emoji face, 전송 곧바로 넌 catch it up. 긴 말은 싫어 대화도 no, guess what? 내 맘에 링크 연결해줘. Send me, 알지 하루가 난 빨라. 나만 뜨거워 my daily life. 날 시켜줘 attitude. Boom cherry top, cherry top. Boom cherry top, cherry top.
I quite like this, because I didn't know what the lyrics meant originally. I can kind of see the parallels between KRystal Eyes and AAA, and the kind of the phone-centric concept that they've gone for. I quite like that. I still love this chorus so much. Cherry top.
Cherry top. Cherry top, cherry top. 널 향한 내 feeling. Cherry top. 자신 있지 난 언제나 완성형. 알고 싶어 너의 A to Z. Cherry top. What?
What's next? Knowing how the Generations MV ended? Hi, Tony. That was that Nian, Tone, and I don't actually know who was on the right there. I'm pretty sure these would have been the revealed but not assigned members yet, right? Or at least up until this point, because this would have been 9, 10, and 11 at this point. Does that check out in terms of the theory? I'm taking a wild guess, but okay, it's kind of what I expected the MV to be, but also kind of blow my mind a little bit because again, I didn't know what the lyrics for the song were going to be. I didn't like read up on the uh spoilers or anything like that because I go into every release completely fresh. The fact that we didn't really get lyrics for the title track at all yesterday really meant that I was just enjoying the music of it. And the music of this song is great. I love it. I love the way the song builds and just the way it's very subtly bright. Like it's not overly sugary bubblegum bright, but it's still a very bright pop song, which I quite like listening to. It's definitely I see the connections between this and Generation, not just in the styling, but kind of like the little musical motifs they have as well, the way the song swells. You do feel a little bit more of like a chicness in Generation than you do in Cherry Talk, but both kind of have very similar vibes for me in not how the music sounds, but how I perceive the music, which I really like. But based off of their whole like how much they are kind of relying on like the digital age concept, not just in their music, but just in the entirety of how their promotions work with the Cosmos and the like NFT photo card, like digital photo card collecting that people do. And it's I didn't realize that this was again going to be heavily based off of that kind of the smartphone age concept because Generations was very much revolving around like public dance challenges on social media and things like that, where this one is very much around the whole like texting element. And I quite like that parallel. They know like it's a very self-aware idea in terms of like their group concept as well, that they are very much riding on the fact that today's day and age this is such a very important thing that we have, and they're kind of riding on that. But it doesn't feel really overly cheesy for me. And maybe I was wondering if like the cell phone thing was going to get old, or if it was going to get really cheesy or anything like that. But there's quite a nice charm to it because they really play into the fact that they are, you know, kids like teenagers is living a normal teenager life and just heavily like there's all this chaos going around them, but they're heavily engrossed in their cell phones. Like it's very much a self-aware MV, but when they have like close-ups of like typing on phones and things, like the dramaticism of their on-screen acting and things like that just really does drive home the fact that this is a really self-aware concept, and I really like it. I just want the chorus again because I love this chorus so much. God, that's such a good song. Genuinely, I don't know how Modhouse and tripleS are doing this every single time. Generation, Cherry Talk, and Rising have all been three very different sounding songs. And yet there has not been a, well, apart from maybe the production and release schedule for the KRystal Eyes unit, there has been like absolutely no hiccups when in terms of like what they've produced, and I love it. Sometimes when I latch onto a new group or something, I'm going to find stuff that I don't necessarily like as much as I feel like I should. Or maybe songs that take a little while to grow on me. When it comes to the title tracks, I'm saying title tracks because I haven't listened to the uh, Generation Zero EP like all that much, and I didn't listen to it when it dropped. But in terms of tripleS title tracks, they have managed to capture my attention off the rip, first listen every single time. That's hard for a group to do for me. And the fact that they have had three very different sound signatures already, and with the plans of bringing out even more with what I'm assuming we're gonna get more music with Evolution and Lovolution, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited to become a fan of them. Is it going to be tough? Oh, 100%. There are so many names to know, there are so many faces to remember, but we will get there one day. I might as well start learning now while they have 14 members and not once they have, 20 odd something like NCT. Because that's already enough of a struggle for me as is, so I'm very much excited for it. But that is it from me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back out into the world today. One small act of kindness, something like checking in with your friends and family, picking up a piece of trash on the street, holding the door open for something, just something that might brighten up someone else's day. And know that wherever you are in the world, if you're ever going through a tough time, no matter how severe, how minor it may be, just know that even though at the end of the day I am just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.